Hey, all my movie maniacs out there, no, you are not hallucinating. It is the title of the film that we're reviewing, and yes, we are reviewing this film, and that is Daphne and Velma. A new movie that came out to direct-to-video, targeted at young adults, telling us the story of our two favorite female leads from Scooby Doo, Daphne and Velma Dinkley. Although their characters have been updated, they're in high school, and this is how we're told these characters first meet. We see Daphne, who has traveled all over the world, who has come to this very high-tech high school, where Velma, who has been her web BFF, has been going to school. And well, now these two are going to the same school, so you'd think everything would be great, but it wouldn't. And as their friendship is being tested, so are their sleuthing skills, as they are finding their fellow students who are top of the class are starting to show up zombified. And we watch how Daphne and Velma go on their first adventure together to unmask who is behind the zombification of their classmates. Tell you, I saw the trailer for this and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But my wife was looking for a film to watch. She said, hey, let's watch this. I'm like, okay, I'll watch anything once. And to my surprise, I found this film entertaining and not annoying. Now, at first, though, you got to realize this is targeted at young adults, okay? Young female adults especially, but not just them in general, because of the subject matter and the characters involved. Now, Daphne is played by Sarah Jeffrey, and I really loved her chemistry with Sarah Gilman, who played Velma Dinkley. I loved how these characters were handled, but they weren't handled annoyingly, and the roles and their interests that they had, I think, are going to be ones you aren't expecting on who is into the supernatural and who isn't. And and I really thought that was an interesting way to handle these characters. Again, those devout Scooby-Doo fans out there may have a problem with it, but try to let go of that and just look at this as its own film. I think you'll enjoy it a lot more. Now, it's got a great cast in here, as well as Nadine Ellis playing Elizabeth Blake, Daphne's mom, and Brian Stepanek, who has his dad character of Daphne. I did not expect that to be put into this film, and it was an interesting subject about parents cutting apron strings, but it was well crafted. That's what I mean. This had a sweet element to it, but it wasn't to the point to where your pancreas was going to go out running away saying, see you later, this film is just too sweet for me. Didn't feel like that at all. It did feel a bit like it was maybe a pilot for a Disney show, but not necessarily in a bad way. There were some fun elements in here. Velma's aunt character, particularly in here, was a lot of fun to watch. There were times where I was chuckling. There were times where I was watching this film going, wow, I'm enjoying this film a lot more than I thought I would. Now, there is a section in here at the very end involving, I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say there's some robotic creatures that show up, and I wish that was handled a little bit differently. That part of the film I couldn't really get into. I was like, oh, okay, this is being handled a little more ridiculous than expected, which up to that point in the film you may go, really, that part? But no, I think it just was directed in some of the effects they had in here. But the story was interesting, how things played out were interesting with the reveal, and at the end I was like, I didn't feel like Velma and Daphne characters were stepped upon, and at the same time I thought this is going to be an interesting film that may get the young adults into the Scooby-Doo series. Directed again by Susie Unessi, and she does an excellent job with creating a young adult film that I think parents can handle to watch, and they may even connect with the parent characters of Daphne, and it's one that they can watch with the whole family, and there's nothing really in here at all that's questionable. So a good modern family film for those out there. In case you're wondering, again, just disconnect yourself completely from the Scooby-Doo series and try to take these characters as their own. You do still get some Scooby-Doo elements, which I did like the nods to, but overall, Daphne and Velma is a watchable film that I think the whole family will enjoy. And there you have it, folks. I know I'm as surprised as you are about it. If you have seen Daphne and Velma, please leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, remember, keep that ticket stub.